Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you had a great game week 22. I hope you're ready and geared for the upcoming madness of the double game weeks and blanks, and I hope you prepared well for that for that scenario, guys. There's a lot of important stuff to kind of go through and talk about. I'm not gonna talk about my team too much, just to show you that last week obviously the transfers, I made two transfers. Obviously in hindsight, now that the Liverpool double has been confirmed, the Estupinan move doesn't look good, especially that he didn't get any points. But Richarlison, I brought him in. I could have brought in Jota, but I preferred Richarlison because I wanted to captain him. And again, we were not sure that if the Liverpool double was even going to get announced. So yeah, George says no Solanke in the captain poll. I absolutely messed it up. Then let me put Solanke in there as well. Definitely Solanke is in with a chance, and that is actually giving me a lot of headaches because I want to get in Haaland, and actually I want to get in Haaland for Solanke because I want to keep Alvarez because of the double game week. And the issue is I'll just remove Palmer from the poll then, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, guys, let's not kind of dwell on. So I did all right. I mean, Alvarez obviously I in the end was the pick of the captains. We kept on discussing Foden, KDB, and all that stuff, but in the end, it's just it's kind of. It was difficult to judge who to captain, especially a lot of people captain KDB, some captain Haaland as well. Issue is, guys, it's just the double game week was announced so late for Liverpool, so this is where I'm at right now. Obviously this is going to change. I still have to make my one transfer. I'm not going to take a hit, that's for sure. But this week the issue is now Liverpool double has been announced in game week 25, and Liverpool have actually the best double game week of the lot, and that's also an issue because I don't have any Liverpool players in the team, and Liverpool play against Brentford and Luton, right? So it's kind of it's a bit, you need to plan for game week 25. Now we've got 3 transfers in total, guys, so we need to plan properly so that we can have players not only for 25, but then we can also navigate 26, in which we're having a blank for a lot of these teams like Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea, and so on and so forth. Right, guys, so let's talk about George says no Solanke. I rectified that. I'm on Solanke for now, says CAV. Nicholas says hi, Wizard. If you had to choose between Brennan, I guess you wanted to write Brennan and Kulusevski, who would you choose? Mate, I would think I'd choose Kulusevski. Issue is I'm not even sure if Brennan Johnson is a regular starter now that Richarlison is playing as a striker, and left wing belongs to Timo Werner. On the right side, if Kulusevski can start, Brennan can start, and actually Brennan Johnson hasn't played a lot on the right wing in his career. That is the reason I'm a little bit concerned about Brennan, so I'd possibly choose. I don't like either of those two options, but if I had to choose one, I'd choose Kulusevski. CAV says if I get Haaland, I'll give him the armband. I agree with that totally. Abhishek says afternoon Wizard. Afternoon, my friend. Haaland will not play 90 minutes according to me. No, I think he'll play 60-70 at best. I don't think he'll play more. I think there can be a reoccurrence of the injury as well, so we need to be concerned about that. Brereton of Sheffield United? Why would you want to get a Sheffield United player? I haven't even look, I'm sorry, that's my mistake. But I never ever considered a Sheffield United player to to have him on my mind, mate. I'd say if that's the option, then I'd say Kulusevski. I'm be fine this week. Actually, if you read the or look at the quotes, he has been Klopp categorically said that he's not going to play the next game week, and he should possibly might be back by 25, but that was just also a possibility, not a certainty. I'm not sure. Abhirup, I really Solanke to Haaland captain, how's this move? See guys, this is the issue. Let me just address the elephant in the room in regards to my own team. The issue with me is I want to keep Alvarez and Foden, because I really want to sell Solanke, to get Haaland, and this is the move I should be making, because then I'll have 3 players from City for the double game week, and I will have 3 players from City for game week 26, because game week 26 is a blank, right? So ideally I want to get 2 Liverpool players and not 3, because Tottenham as well blank in 26. So if I have too many of these players, I think it's going to be an issue. So I think when I get Jota, it might be for Richarlison, because of the fact that they blank in 26 as well. Palmer blanks as well, Porro blanks as well, and if on top of that, if I get 2 Liverpool players, then I'll have 5 players blanking. It'll be too much, and because I don't have the bench support as well here, right? So it's a bit difficult for my own team, because I really want to get rid of Solanke, but the issue is Solanke this week has a great fixture against Nottingham at home, whereas therefore I might have to sell Alvarez to get Haaland, and which means selling a player which is playing in 26 double game week and has a fixture in 26 as well. So 25 double game week and 26 I have to sell a player. So this is the dilemma for me, and I don't have a good answer for this. I've been thinking all the time. I don't have a good answer for this, mate. I just have to think about how you can address it in the best possible way. That's all I can say for that. Zara says, George says, I plan to have 3 City, 2 Liverpool. Will use 2 free transfers to sell Liverpool for blank game week 29 and bench Tottenham, Chelsea players like Richarlison. For that, you need to have a good bench. If that can be done, I think that's the best way to go about it, my friend. Zara says, I've got 2 free transfers, have 3 City assets, need to get rid of Bernardo and find a replacement for 5.8 million. Thinking of doing Archer to Haaland. I don't want to remove Solanke. Any advice? I think that's fine. Remove Archer for Solanke, my friend. For now, I think removing Archer for Solanke is fine. Removing Archer for Haaland is fine. You can keep Solanke, but if you consider Solanke's fixtures, he just has 1 or 2 good. Even Fulham away, I don't consider to be a good fixture really. So basically, we just want to keep him for this fixture, right? And beyond that, the next 3 fixtures are really bad. So it's not out of the question. If you really want to just, you can get rid of Dom Solanke in this week. Don't be fooled by this 2 rating on the FTR. This is just botched. Fulham is not an easy fixture. So these 3 fixtures are really tough. Newcastle away, Man City home, Fulham away, really tough ones. And after that, yes, he's got some decent ones, and the possibility of a Bournemouth double is very less as well. I don't think Salah's gonna be fine. Even if I was you, I'd probably sell him for KDB. I would sell him for KDB. From the news, we don't have any indications that he should be fine, Not ideal, as I want to keep Solanke plus Watkins, but that means selling Archer for Haaland, which may mean I have money problems later on. Well, CAV, if you want to own an asset like Haaland, which takes about like 14% of your budget, then I think this is obviously going to be the case, right? He will eat up some of your budget, and there's nothing we can do about that. Obviously, if you don't want to have 3 strikers and you want to keep... To be honest with you, if I had to sell one out of Watkins and Solanke, looking at the fixtures in the upcoming weeks, I'd possibly sell Solanke, because he's got like decentish fixtures and is a better team, Like Sheffield is a better fixture, Nottingham, Luton, even I'd say Manchester United. Defense is not great. They conceded 3 goals to Wolves. Fulham away is not as tough for Aston Villa as it is for, I'd say, Solanke. So it's considering it as a similar fixture for Ollie Watkins, so I'd possibly keep Watkins over Solanke. That's just my idea. Yesa says, I've got 2 free transfers. I'm planning to get in Haaland for Alvarez and a bit confused about the other transfer. Thinking of getting Gordon for Richarlison or Saka. I think that's a good one. Yes, I'd possibly definitely get Haaland for Alvarez. And if you want to get in Gordon, I'd possibly do it for Richarlison, based on this, because he plays against Everton away, then Brighton home, Wolves home, and then he's got no fixture in 26, whereas Saka has fixture in 26 as well. And these are fixtures are all right. I'm not the best, not the worst. Saka on the other hand, big game against Liverpool can keep him. It's touch and go. You can sell either of the two. The only advantage of selling Saka to get Gordon is, I guess, it gives you more money in case you need to invest. George says you should roll with, if Chelsea beat Villa, then you'll want to sell Palmer. George, ideally I want to roll, but it's just actually, at the back of my mind I have this. The problem will be captaincy for me. Then maybe Ollie Watkins. It's gonna be touch and go. Then I don't know who to captain, because when you get Haaland, it becomes just easy to captain him. Otherwise it'll be a pain in the head to just decide who to captain and to watch the City game without owning Haaland. Difficult one. I know. I'm feeling that I should roll as well. Just one game week, and beyond that I can simply sell Solanke to get a Haaland, right? It's gonna be alright one. I don't think it's gonna be the worst thing in the world, and right now I can kind of bolster my defense and make some changes here. That's the ideal scenario, mate. But Fazalisa, I don't know what to do. Abhirup says, but will Haaland, KDB, Alvarez, Foden play together in both the games? I don't think so. I think it's gonna be either or. Not even sure if this has been fixed. Guys, please let me know if you can hear me. I don't know how to fix it, guys. I'm just trying. Yes, the stream is stuck. I lost my internet for a bit, guys. Please let me know if you can hear me, as I'll just start speaking when I can know that you're able to listen to me, guys. Can you hear me? I'll just wait for you guys to confirm. Michael says can hear you. Yesa says think you're back. Alright, I'll just wait. I'll still wait to see if Zara says yes. George says yes as well. Jackson says yes. Alright guys, thank God we're back. This is insane. I tried changing my internet. I've got 2 fiber optic connections and I tried changing both of them. It's lagging. Just give me a second, I'm trying to fix it again. Mobile hotspot. Just give me a second. I should be back now, guys. Please let me know once and for all. Should be back now. Guys, now I'm streaming from my mobile hotspot, so that's the only option that was left, because both my optical fiber connections were lagging, so I had to connect to the mobile hotspot. I'm so sorry, guys. I think it should be alright now. Right, sorry guys, apologies for the lag, but it was, yeah, couldn't control that. Anyways, let's get back to the chat. So sorry for the delay. I hope it works. Back again. Yeah, just like troops. Right. So wherever the questions, I can just hear all the lagging. Just give the stream a like. Right. Right on, guys. So let's just talk about what I was saying. Is the issue is, I know I should be kind of rolling this week, and I should not be making a transfer. But the problem is there's a Haaland FOMO. You know, with literally with everybody getting Haaland back really quickly. You know, I really ideally want to keep Alvarez. I mean, do you find it right to transfer a player out after he scored 2 goals? I mean, I really don't. I really don't like to transfer a player out after he scored 2 goals, right? So, I mean, I don't want to transfer Alvarez out. Ideally, I just want to take out Solanke and get Haaland, right? And this will give me 3 players for the double game week, and this will, you know, allow me to kind of have 3 City players for 26 as well, you know. But Dom Solanke this week has a good fixture as well. Pradeep says, hello brother, who is the better pick, Alvarez or Foden for this game week? I would, Pradeep, to be honest with you, actually, if I take you to the predictions, guys, and which you'll find very interesting if you have a look at these predictions. So see here, guys, I mean, even the fans of Manchester City are confused as to who they think is going to start. Look here, Kovacic 54%, Doku 23%, Grealish 46%, KDB 69%, Alvarez 62%, Haaland 85%. Nobody can predict what's going to happen, how the team is going to set up, whether Alvarez starts, whether KDB starts, whether, only one they're definitely sure about, I guess, is Foden. All the others, they're just, KDB 69, Alvarez 62, Grealish 46, Doku 23. So it's a bit gonna happen here in the City team as well, if you look at the fan predictions as well. So I'm kind of, I really want to roll, but I just want to make a defensive transfer to bolster my defense to prepare for 25 and 26 properly. But the head says that simply move Alvarez to Haaland and be done with it. Don't focus too much on 25, because the ownership of Haaland is skyrocketing, because some people got him last week itself and the others have got him in now 60%. I don't want to go against that. I will not go against that. It is not in my philosophy to play the risky game, and I will not do that. I will not go against a 60% ownership. Simple as that. Milo Taff says, we need the Egyptian King back for game week 25, otherwise everybody will triple captain Haaland. Well, that's true, my friend. And I'd say Liverpool have a better double game week than City do as well. But I don't think Egyptian King is going to be back, and even if he is back, I think we'll find it hard to triple captain him because of his injury. Michael says, can you look at my question on the group chat? Michael, I will try. Things have gone a bit haywire today for me, especially with this losing the stream. This was my plan. Haaland and Tony in for Watkins. Not sure what to do with the Liverpool double confirmed. It's alright, my friend. You can simply move Bowen to Jota next week and you shall be fine. I like your team. You've got Gross. You can move Gross to Jota, or you can move Bowen to Jota, and you shall be fine. And the week after that, you can move Solanke to Darwin. I think having 2 Liverpool players and 3 City players, or maybe 2 City, 2 Liverpool, I think that should do it. Because if you load up on Liverpool players, next week they've got a blank game week as well. We have to remember that. George says, Wiz, we're already up on the managers who got Haaland back early and captained him. They all got a 1 point. I agree with that, George. But we knew that Haaland was not going to start, right? Now we know that, Pep says that he's going to start. Tony or Bowen? I'd go with Tony, my friend. Bench Tony or Saka? Man, this is a difficult question. I would bench Saka. What's my transfer plan? I think I'm gonna get in Haaland or a defender. That's you can say the only thing which I am concerned about. Watkins, Darwin, and Alvarez. What should I do? Well, Darwin you should keep because he has double game week now announced in 25, and in 24 he plays against Burnley. So I'd maybe take out Alvarez for Haaland. It's pretty simple. With if you don't have Solanke, then you can take out Alvarez. Taking out a double game week player in Alvarez feels a bit difficult to me. So don't bring in KDB or Tony, but instead Jota and Nunes. No, I don't think so. I think Jota is fine. Between Nunes and Tony, I'd say yes, you can. The issue with Jota and Nunes is they don't have a fixture in 26. So if you can cover them from the bench, then it's fine to bring in Jota and Nunes. But if you have a problem on the bench, then for example, you've got Colville who's not gonna play. Tottenham, you've got Udogie and Pedro Porro who are blanking in 26 as well. It's a bit tough, my friend. Azmir says, hey, he was having difficulty on choosing who to bench. Got Haaland, Solanke, Watkins, KDB, Saka, Foden, Palmer. I'd bench one out of Saka and Foden, my friend. Is Douglas Luiz a decent pick and for a mid who is within the 5.8 million range? Zara, I don't think so. Aston Villa are not playing as well as they were initially. So in that price bracket, I personally, I would not go with the. I'd say if you don't have anything else to do or you don't want 3 City players, I mean, you could even go with somebody like Rodri, you know, and keep him for the doubles and keep him for the blank, you know, like just for the blank 26 as well. Rodri will always give you a goal or an assist, you know, in the same price bracket as well. Douglas Luiz is fine, but the issue is Aston Villa are hot and cold at the moment. Yes, Asis, can you read my chat? Guys, please, I'm just a bit, you know, the stream went a bit haywire with the connection, so I would really request you to kind of write your questions again so that I can actually address them. It's hard to go back and read your chats. Bailey's a better pick. Zara. I guess so, yeah. Bailey is better, but the issue is again, you know, sometimes Diaby is going to start, sometimes Bailey is going to start. That's the issue. Can you suggest a midfielder? Jota, I'd say. Gordon is a really nice one with the good fixtures now. You know? Who else? Palmer, obviously, if you don't have him. Really good ones. So what transfer would you suggest considering my squad? I'd go Alvarez to... no. From your squad, I mean, you could roll a transfer this week if you wanted to. I don't necessarily see a problem. But if you have to make a transfer, then you don't have any free transfers. I would not take a hit. But I'd possibly take out a Spurs defender. I would not keep both Udogie and Porro in the same team. I'd take out a Spurs defender. I'd take out Colville as well, eventually. Would Colville to Botman be stupid if I don't already have Haaland? I don't think so, CAV. I mean, you could even go for Dan Burn. You know, he's also playing all the games, and he's, I guess, you know, a little bit more attacking than what Botman is. So Dan Burn can also be an option if you're looking to go for Newcastle. But again, remember they're playing. They've got a tough game in 26 against Arsenal. Yeah. Yes, I agree, Michael. That's what you need to address. I mean, Palmer you can keep, but Colville and Udogie you need to kind of get rid of. Light Ray says, what are your moves this week? I'm thinking, Light Rays, I might take out Alvarez for Haaland in the end. I might give in to the you know, effective ownership, I'd say. Neil says, I took a -4 Odegaard, Alvarez from Mainu and Haaland. I mean, to be honest with you, Neil, I don't think Kobe Mainu is gonna score too many goals like he did against Wolves, you know. I'd maybe prefer somebody like Rodri or even Douglas Luiz, who's on penalties, rather than Mainu. But you know, if you already made the transfer, then I guess it's fine. He's more of a rotation player, bench player in FPL. Shearer, I think, is good. I mean, he obviously scored a couple of goals. I mean, definitely is a good player, but he's not going to do that every week, right? So technically, I mean, if you have the funds to afford Shearer, then definitely go for Shearer. I mean, if you have the funds, you should actually go for Trippier. But if you don't, then you can go for Burn or Botman if you want to go for a Newcastle defender. Zara says, I unfortunately don't have the funds for Gordon, already have Palmer. I need to remove Bernardo to make way for Haaland as the third City player. Quite the dilemma. Yes, I can understand. If you want to remove Bernardo, then obviously going for Rodri is not the solution. I guess, no, but not that. There's no really good cheap players, Zara, unfortunately. That is the issue, especially in midfield where, you know, there's so many good options. You don't want to book a spot with a cheap player in midfield. That is the issue. So basically you're looking for a player in the let us say 5.8 5.6 million bracket, right? I don't like many players. I mean, obviously you know, Hee Chan Huang was nice, but he's off. You know, it's still South Korea are in the, you know, in the semifinals now. I don't like any players in that price bracket actually. You know, Olise, you know, he's maybe has a bit of a knock, muscle injury, but Olise was good. Willian from Fulham, I guess you can think about Willian, or I mean, if you can bring a Brentford midfielder like Jensen because they've got a double. You know, Jensen scored a few goals, few assists. You know, no ideal, you know, option, to be honest with you. Garnacho again. Garnacho can be an option, Todd, but issue is again with United. At least he's playing all the games. I'll give you that, but he doesn't return very often. I think in the last 15 games he's scored 3 goals and maybe 3 assists. I mean, for that value though, 4.8 million. I think Garnacho can be an option. I agree with Todd. Free hit 26 is not an option. No, I think a much better use of free hit can be made down the line. Keep Bowen instead of Richarlison and do Richarlison to Gordon. I mean, if you want, West Ham don't have easy fixtures, to be honest with you, my friend. Manchester United away and then Arsenal at home. Even Nottingham Forest away is not an easy fixture. So personally, I would not keep Jarrod Bowen. The only reason to keep Bowen is if Chelsea beat Aston Villa and they have a fixture in 29. But that's too long-term planning. Whew, guys. This is like a machine gun of questions today. Neil says, Wiz, what do you think of Trent and Archer to Burn and Haaland? I like that, Nehal, provided that you're fine with Newcastle playing Arsenal in 26. Otherwise, I like the move. But Trent also has a double game week in 25 and against Burnley in 24. Do you really want to get rid of Trent before that? That's the whole question. Bench Bowen or Nkunku? If Nkunku's going to start, man, it's such difficult questions, guys. Let's see what the fans seem to think of Chelsea, that if Nkunku's gonna start, guys, I'd keep Nkunku. He's a handful. This guy scored a pretty good goal as well. I would not leave him on the bench if he's predicted to start. Let's see what the fans seem to think about Nkunku. See, this is the issue. 47% against a percentage player like Bowen. I'd play Bowen then. Even if the if the fans who are actually who follow Chelsea week in week out are not sure if Nkunku's gonna start, then I guess better to play but the percentage game and play Palmer, play Bowen. Would you sell Jota for Schlupp? Never, Lotaf. Why would I sell Jota for Schlupp? Jota's got a double game week, bro. In 25, he plays Burnley next week. Jota is in the form of his life. We'll never sell Jota, bro. Foden or Olise? Olise is injured. He's got a muscle injury. Olise. Todd says, Wiz is talking super fast. Breathe. Yes, Todd, actually the stream got disrupted a bit, so the amount of questions are a little bit much for me. I like answering in detail. That's why it's just a bit overwhelming, but I'm trying to keep up. Option 2, Watkins to Haaland. Nehal, do you have Solanke? I'd say Solanke to Haaland is a better move as compared to Watkins to Haaland, if you ask me. Would you sell Gordon to Rice? Why would you sell Gordon, bro? Gordon's got the best fixture you could hope for. Like Luton, not the best fixture. The best would be against Sheffield United, but against Luton at home, why would we sell Gordon? Also, personally, don't think Trent. After that performance by Bradley, a goal, assist, and whatnot. I agree that maybe Klopp would want to give Trent a bit of a rest. Maybe Trent starts in midfield. But if you're not sure about Trent, yes, you can sell him. But just feels a bit counterintuitive selling Trent before Burnley and the double game week against Luton and Brentford. Think about it a bit more, bro. Caleb says, thanks, bro. You're welcome, my friend. It was a tough question. I give you that, bro. I've done Salah to Richarlison and Watkins to Haaland. I'm keeping Solanke till 32. That's fine. But they won't have a double game week till 32, Abhijit. But otherwise, the logic is fine. Watkins, I just like the fixture, so... why are people taking out Bowen? I guess because there's a lot of midfield options, especially with double game weeks, and Bowen's fixtures are not the best, I guess. You are a good bro, love you. Thanks, man. Don't have Solanke. Oh, I get that. Have Archer, Darwin, and Watkins. Well, then, Nehal, obviously the option is to get Haaland in place of Archer, and if you have to sell Trent for that, then I guess that has to be done. Dude, you're making me and my wife laugh at your responses to bad questions. Well, I'm laughing myself. I generally rewatch my streams, and I smile at them usually, but I'm glad I'll make you happy. I'm glad at that. Enjoy your time, bro. Neil says, starting Poro, Trent, Stupinan, Mainu. I agree with that. We already discussed. KDB captain, Foden, Saka, Palmer, Watkins, Haaland. Bench Darwin, Senesi, and Saliba. I like that, Neil. I think that's a good setup. You've got Trent, you've got KDB, you've got Foden, you've got Darwin as well. So you already got 4 players, and you've got 3 transfers to make, or actually 2 more transfers to make. You already made yours, and I think this looks really good. Milotaf says another great show. Thanks, my friend. Faz says Alvarez to Haaland. I guess that is the move, Faz. Considering if you own somebody like Solanke and Watkins, then this is the move to make. Although it just feels counterintuitive to sell a player who just scored 2 goals in the previous week, and we're selling him for a player who's coming back from an injury. It just feels a bit weird to me. But if you're not getting Haaland this week, you're playing against a 60% effective ownership. Not effective, but a 60% ownership. Effective is gonna be even higher, and add to that the effective ownership of Kevin De Bruyne. It is just too dangerous game to play. It's like playing with fire, and it's difficult. Because how can we squeeze in Haaland, Darwin, and Tony? I don't think we can squeeze in all 3, my friend. I think we're gonna have to make do with 2 of them, and I don't even think we need all 3 of them. I think 2 is enough. I think from Liverpool, I prefer Jota. If there is an option to get 1 out of Darwin and Jota, I'd say I'll get Jota. Darwin is too hot and cold. I mean, watching Liverpool games, it gives you chills down your spine if you don't own Darwin and you watch him hit the post, hit the bar, miss chances, miss penalties, score goals, give assists. He's just an all-action kind of a player, but I don't think he's I'm convinced by his finishing, my friend. So I think it's better to own Jota from Liverpool, and I'd say Haaland definitely. Out of Darwin and Tony, you can choose if you want to own one. And that's the only thing I can say, guys. I think I have made my decision. I think I am going to take out Alvarez for Haaland. Maybe next week I'd get in Jota. Depends for who. If I don't like the prospects of Saka, or I'd say I don't like the prospects of Foden, Pep leaves him out. There's no point in having a double game week player if he doesn't even play a single game in the double game week. So let's see what happens. Nehal says Darwin is an enigma. Love him, hate him, he stays. Nehal, if you own such a player, I think it's great to own him. The point is bringing him in is a bit tough. But I agree, he's an enigma. He's an all-action player, he does everything and a bit of everything, it's just an all-action player. I actually love watching him play, and he just, I get scared at the potential. I know one of these game weeks he's gonna explode and score 21 points in a game week, the only, I just hope that I own him for that game week, my friend. Sylvester says who to bench, Nkunku or Bowen? I already answered that, Sylvester. 47% of the fans seem to think in Jump the Wave that Nkunku is going to start. Only 47% of the fans seem to think so. Bowen we know is going to start, but he's got a bit of a tough fixture. Although I don't think playing against Manchester United at Old Trafford is really bad, because the way West Ham play, I think Bowen can get some chances on the counter, because United defensively are not great. They conceded 3 goals to Wolves. They were 2 goals up and they gave up the lead. So I think it's alright to keep Bowen and play him. Neil says, Salmon says Foden or Richarlison. Richarlison, my friend. He's playing against Everton. I think he's a little bit more motivated every time he plays against Everton, even though he was not in the best of forms previously. Neil says, I agree that if you have Darwin, he should stay. Trust me, the haul is coming. Maybe this season, maybe next. I agree with that. He's a more refined version of Timo Werner, because he finds ways to missed goals that even Werner could not find, but then he also finds ways to make points that Werner could not find. So he's like Timo Werner on steroids. I don't know if we can say that. Sylvester says, thanks. You're welcome, mate. Thanks. Thank God for the questions. They've dried up, guys. It was a bit like a machine gun. I guess that was born out of the fact that the stream got disconnected and a lot of questions went unanswered. But I guess we're back again. So let me just see, guys, again. Let me take you to my transfer page and let me talk you through about what I want to do here. I want to ideally have 3 City players and I want to have 2 Liverpool players for the double. Now the issue is I've got 3 free transfers left. Alright. Who to captain? I guess if you have Haaland, then you captain Haaland. If you don't have Haaland, then you can think about captaining Watkins, Dom Solanke, Cole Palmer, or even Gordon. 20 minutes to go, says Buckshot. Right, mate. It's gonna make my transfer with, I guess, 10 minutes to go. Just waiting for any leaks which come out on Twitter. Generally they do. Last time I made my transfer, I was just so pained to see KDB starting after I made my transfer. So I'm just waiting this time. Yeah. So should I sell Salah? I think you should sell Salah, my friend. I think you should get KDB. Bench 1 out of Foden, Gordon, Palmer, Richarlison. I would bench either Foden or Palmer. I think Gordon and Richarlison have to be played. Richarlison is in the form of his life for Spurs. I don't think you leave him out. And the way Ange Postecoglou plays Spurs, the attacking style of football, Richarlison will get a lot of chances. Guys, by the way, if you're not wanting to get in a player who plays in the double game week, I think you should all have a look at Kieran Trippier as well. I think quietly Newcastle are improving in form again, and Trippier can become a really good asset, especially with the fixtures he's got upcoming. So if you're not hard pressed for the, for the move to Haaland, or you've already got Haaland and you're looking for a defender, I think Kieran Trippier is the one to go for. Palmer captain is fine. Yes, I think this is not an issue. I actually like the Palmer captaincy. I think Chelsea gave a good account of themselves against Liverpool. Obviously, it's very, very hard to play at Anfield. It is a young team in the end. But I think Palmer did well, although he was surrounded, he was actually hounded by the Liverpool midfield. But I think he did well in that game, even though he did not score a goal or, provide an attacking output. But I think Gordon definitely has a very good shout as a captain. If you don't own Watkins or Palmer, I think Gordon you can captain as well, guys. Should I sell Gusto? You can keep Gusto. I think Gusto can play, especially after last week when he was subbed on, and the way Chilwell played the last game against Liverpool. I'm not even sure if Pochettino would want to start him again. But I think Gusto definitely deserves a shout. I don't think you should sell him. You can keep him. If you don't have anything else to do and you really want to sell Gusto, then you can. You can move to somebody like Van Hecke, 4 million from Brighton. You can think about Doty. I think Doty is a very good option from Luton, especially with the double game week now being announced. If you're looking for a midfielder, you can think about a Brentford midfielder in Janssen. If you're looking for a defender, you can look at a Brentford defender in Pinnock. I think Pinnock is a good option in the double game week. He plays in 26. He also plays in blank game week 29. You can look at a Fulham defender, somebody like that left back Anthony Robinson, if you're looking for a player who plays in 26 and 29. So you have to kind of plan for the future, guys. I'm captaining Palmer, says Ahmed. That's good, my friend. Good luck. So the plan is Trent to Burn, Archer to Haaland for a -4, then Watkins to Tony next week. This will give me doublers of Foden, Haaland, Jota, Darwin, Tony. I like that, Nihal. I think Trent to Burn feels hard to recommend, but I guess if you want to get Haaland and you don't have any other way to do it, I guess then you can do it this way as well. Don't go Guardiola, bro. I honestly, I don't see. Last week we were all talking about Walker. See what happened? That's the issue. I would not go Trent to Guardiola. I'm done with the City defense. I don't want to look at City defense. Todd says bench Bowen or Bernardo. Well, Todd, if you look at the predictions by the fans, it is like the issue is with the midfield. Bernardo Silva is going to now start in midfield. Sometimes in difficult games he plays on the flank, on the right hand side. He plays a bit further up, But now with like Bernardo Silva and Rodri are going to be the main ones alongside it. We don't know who starts. Will Kovacic start or will somebody else start? But I think it's Bernardo Silva will be the last two of the midfielders. He stays back at corners to prevent a counter attack. He plays mostly Rodri plays as a single pivot, but he doesn't play that far further forward, especially if KDB starts, and along with that Foden and Haaland. So I'd say based on that you can bench Bernardo Silva. I'd play Bowen. I think he's the talisman of that team, although the performance against Bournemouth was not encouraging, but still I would play Bowen as compared to Bernardo Silva. I think the ceiling of Bernardo Silva is not that high anyway. Hey Yaman, welcome to the stream. I've got 2 free transfers, thinking of doing Alvarez to Haaland, also thinking Saka to Jota. This week I'd do Alvarez to Haaland and I would keep Jota. I would keep Saka. If you want to bring in Jota, I think next week you can do it. Already have Richarlison, Foden, Gordon, Palmer. So you've got Richarlison, Foden, Gordon and Palmer. I would bench Foden, my friend, out of these. I'd play Palmer, Gordon and Richarlison. Also keep Saka. Bring Jota next week when they play against Burnley. Don't take out Saka ahead of a home fixture against Liverpool. Saka is the main, the talisman of Arsenal, the penalty taker. It's just, I think keep Saka. You're always welcome, Todd. Pedro Neto or Jensen, the better option? This is tough. I'd say if Pedro Neto you feel is back, you can go for Pedro Neto, provided you're not too concerned about the double game week. Jensen again, like you can bring in Jensen, but Zara issue is it doesn't provide too many attacking returns anyways, right? So that's the only thing which I would be concerned about. Otherwise, I think as a player, as an option, like there's no comparison between Pedro Neto and Jensen. And he's played 2 full games, so I guess he's gonna be all right. Fixtures again not the best for Pedro Neto. Chelsea away, Spurs away, sandwiched in between Brentford home. So the fixtures are not the best. So if you're looking at a short-term option and not concerned about the longer term, then I think you can go with Brentford player as well. And the one which you really want to go for from the Brentford midfield is Vitaly Janelt. Not Vitaly Janelt, Jensen, sorry. I'm sorry, I got confused. Matthias Jensen is the one you want to go for. Norgard is sometimes good on set pieces but doesn't play all the games. I guess that's it. So you go for Jensen, or you could consider a Luton player as well. So in Luton, I think in midfield, Ross Barkley plays all the games. He scores a few goals, provides a few assists. At 4.9 million, you can think about Ross Barkley as well. I don't feel he's got anything to lose, or you've got anything to lose by making a Ross Barkley transfer. He's got a double game week. Why not just take a chance and play somebody like him? If you don't want to get Alfie Doughty in defense. Right. So we've got a super chat by Jugs. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Who to start, Garnacho or Bernardo Silva? Jugs, I think I would start Garnacho because of the fact that Brentford away is not the easiest game. Garnacho, I think, has more potential, And Manchester United winning that game against Wolves 4-3 amongst the goals. Rashford firing again. Rasmus doing well, Mainu again scoring the winning goal. I think they've got something about them. I think take a chance with Garnacho. Especially if you own a few City players, you own Foden, you own Haaland, you own Alvarez, then I don't think there's a need to start Bilba. I'd prefer Garnacho. There's not much between them, but I'd say take a chance with Garnacho. Avanish says, hey, I've got KDB, Madison, Gordon, Palmer, Watkins. Who should I captain? I would captain... I think you can think about KDB. Watkins obviously is a great option. And I mean, they're all captainable material. I'd say Madison the least so, because he's back from an injury. I'm not sure how long he's going to play. Although, he got a few knocks against Brentford as well. They fouled him a fair number of times. Aljosa says, who to start? Diaby? I'm not on my team. Just a second. So who to start? Diaby or Joao Pedro? Joao Pedro I think is injured. I don't think he's going to start. Start Diaby, bro. Play Saka or Bowen. Man, this is so difficult. Saka, I guess. It feels crazy, but I'm benching Foden as well. I have so many attackers. It's a problem of plenty this week, guys. It's not a problem of few. Let me make my transfers, guys. Actually, I need to be relaxed. It's enough. It's enough. I'll just give myself, I'll say 1 more minute to think about it, and then I'm gonna... No leaks, I guess. I have to sell Alvarez, mate. The issue is I want to keep Solanke this week. Next week, maybe sell him for Darwin and get Jota. I guess I'm going to have to do with 4 players then. I guess let's do it. With a heavy heart. After scoring 13 points, I'm selling. Not the best thing to do. I don't like it. I absolutely don't like it. But you got to play the numbers, guys. Sometimes you got to play the numbers. You're not... I don't play with my heart only. I play with my head. Shall I sell Bowen for Gordon? I think you can sell Bowen for Gordon, yes. I sold Alvarez, yes. I've checked Twitter and crazy. A lot of people have brought in Haaland for Alvarez. It's not worth keeping. Alvarez is worth keeping if you have somebody let us say, you own another striker, Avanai, I guess, or somebody others, you own Archer, you own, I guess Isaac or somebody like that. I think it's worth to just simply ship them out and keep Alvarez as your 2 strikers. Haaland and Alvarez can work, but if you have got Dom, Solanke, Watkins and Haaland, I feel it's not the right time to sell Solanke, Sometimes, you've got to make these decisions. Not based on the way you feel about players, but based on the shield and the sword concept, which I've explained a lot of times on my stream. You need shields in your team. Can you make an army with people full of swords? Tell me this. If you've only got swords, you can never protect yourself from the blows that the enemy is going to deal to you. So you're only going to attack. And even by playing the total football that the Netherlands used to play back in the 80s and 90s, they could not win major trophies, right? Even though they had the most fantastic players. You need a defense. Total football doesn't work. So you need shields and you need swords. This week, I guess... people selling Solanke to get Haaland. Gordon, I guess, is my sword, I guess, this week. How much is he owned? 22%. So, is a bit of a differential around my rank, right? All the others, Richarlison must be 14%. This is my sword. Haaland is my shield. And I'm captaining my shield. You should not have Avanish. I know that, bro. I probably live to regret. And FPL is a game of haves and have-nots, guys. Start Darwin or Saka? I would start Saka. Still fancy Solanke captain. Agree with that, bro. Can captain Solanke. Alvarez or Joao Pedro to Haaland? Joao Pedro to Haaland. I don't think Joao Pedro plays this week. I think he's injured. Transfer made Haaland and for Alvarez. Trippier captain, Jugs. Mate, you always find a way to make these captains. And they work for you as well, so I'm glad. Alex gave me the confidence, Guardiola. And cheers, Nehal. You play with your gut. Don't, I love when you, make your own decisions and you play with your gut like that. 1-2 bench between Saka, Palmer, Richie. I'm benching Foden, Nehal, especially when you've got Guardiola and Haaland. I don't think you want to play 3 players against Brentford. Brentford are not like they're hot and cold at the moment, but the way they played against Spurs, I personally don't think that it's going to be an easy game for City. That's why I feel that they're going to have to play Haaland in this game, and that's why I actually got him in. Haaland or KDB for captain? It's a roll of the dice, but if I owned both, I'd captain Haaland, bro. Archer to Haaland done. Can do Solanke plus Saka to Salah plus Pedro in the future. That's fine. I like that. I actually like that. Archer to Haaland is a good move, bro. This was the best move that was possible because nobody wants to keep Archer anyway. Where's Sterling to Olise? Isn't Sterling not injured? Is Olise not having a knock or a muscle injury? I'm not so sure. Let me check. I'm sorry, Gavin. I might be mistaken. Alvarez or Joao Pedro to Haaland? I'd say Joao Pedro to Haaland. Keep Alvarez. Joao Pedro, I'm not sure if he starts. You have to get the... Guys, see... Again, I'm not against Solanke captaincy, if you're saying like I agree with what CAV is saying. I mean, if you own Haaland, you've got a bit of both, and you can captain Solanke, right? Especially if you want to sell him next week, you can like put captaincy here as well. I mean, I've been thinking about that all day long. I've been thinking if I get Haaland, will I still captain Haaland? Maybe not. I think Eze got injured, not Olise. Olise, let me check. Let me check my notes. Let me check my notes real quickly, guys. I don't have time. So yeah. So you want to know about Crystal Palace? Yeah, Olise is fine. Yeah, he's got muscle injury, but they think it's gonna be fine to play. You can get Olise if you want. Yes. Definitely. Sterling to Olise you can do if you want to. You can even think about Garnacho. Olise is fine. Capping Richarlison, says Nehal. Cheers. 3 minutes to go. Captaincy. I've been debating captaincy. I've been thinking all day long. Like, if I get Haaland, then I will captain Solanke, Been thinking all day long. Thinking I'm happy punting on Solanke, knowing I have some cover. Not sure that the new Forest Keeper comes straight in. Yeah, I'm in the Forest Keeper as well. Yes, 2.45 minutes. Man, cutting it close, innit? Just give me 1 second, guys. I'll work this out quickly. I know I've got my captain on Solanke. I'm thinking about it, guys. Just give me 1 second. Yes, I'm going to captain Solanke. I think I've got Haaland because of the effective ownership. I think I'm not going to take a chance on captaining Haaland because I'm benching Foden, which means I'm banking on the fact that I feel that Brentford are going to provide a stiff resistance to this attack. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna even take my vice captaincy off him. I'm gonna vice captain Gordon. Let's go. I've been thinking. Issue is, again, CAV, I agree with you. And the fact that I kept Solanke and I sold Alvarez for Haaland makes me think. You captaining Solanke as well? Cheers, man. Man, that's nice. The thing is, guys, if I owned three City players and I was playing all 3 of them, I would say that yes, I'm expecting City to smash. I'm expecting City to smash Brentford. But the way they played against Spurs with Ivan Toney coming back, play Odegaard or Foden. Out of these two, I'd say Foden, I guess. Odegaard has not been doing anything for the past few games. It's better to play Foden, bro. Where did this question come from, Gasemi? You've been on the stream for such a long time, bro. Lock your team, lock your team. 3 seconds to go. Please, everybody. Captain, lock, do whatever you want to do. First thing what I'm going to do is, after I get off this stream, I'm going to call my internet companies. I've got 2 fiber optic connections, guys. And they both let me down right at the wrong time. That's a nice one. But I'm going to call them and I'm going to tell them to just fix their internets, guys. And I'm right. You know how I completed my stream? I was streaming from my hotspot, guys. You know, things we have to do, it's insane. Richarlison captain, Nihal. You've gone a full circle, bro. I like that. I absolutely like that. I bought in Captain Solanke and Captain Alvarez and benched Odegaard. Cheers, Gasemi. Zara says thank you. You're welcome, Zara. Which player did you get in? Did you get in Jensen or did you go for somebody like Barclay? I would love to know that. It's time. You made it work anyway. Thanks, Wiz, and good luck all. Cheers, CAV. I hope it works out for us. It's not like me to captain Solanke when I own Haaland, but I guess this is the week. Likely an issue with the infrastructure. I guess so, George, because both the internets were down. I guess there would be a back end problem. Yes, I agree with you. Gordon holds the armband. I'm doomed. You're not doomed, bro. Gordon has a great fixture. Luton are not the team to sit back. They are gonna attack, and Gordon will have some space. I think Gordon is a fantastic player to own this week. I ended up going for Barclay. Zara, I'm telling you, this is gonna work out for you, especially in the coming weeks. Especially in Game Week 25, you're gonna get 2 fixtures out of Barclay, and I think he has a chance to score. Nehal says Leno is a great one for this week. Leno, Estupinan, Porro, Guardiol, Jota, Saka, Richarlison, Palmer, Watkins. You're setting up really good for the double game week, Nehal. I like that team a lot. Especially, you know, you've got a Fulham keeper who plays even in 29. Nice. I like that. Was tinkering till 3 minutes and just went with my gut. I like that, Zara. I really like that move. Luton gonna score personally. I think so as well. Adebayo has been, you know, even, you know, Nottingham Forest got this big striker in front, Avonai. I mean, he just pushed Saliba around the way I've never seen him get pushed around that day. And the way he scored the goal, you know, I was a bit scared right at the end of the Arsenal game. Same with Adebayo. I think he's a great striker for Luton. You know, he's actually a great option as well. If you, there's a lot of options up front now, but if you're looking for a cheaper option, Adebayo can be a good one. Thanks for the stream, Wiz. Yes, definitely. Lightrace says you got time for predictions today. Yes, Lightrace definitely got time for predictions, man. I just hope my internet holds. Otherwise, definitely gonna do the predictions. Let's do it. So let me see how many people are watching, and I'm gonna request everybody to please vote. So we've got 15. No, we've got less. We've got like 6 people watching now. I still got time for predictions. I love doing what I do, so no worries. Even if less people are watching, I don't care. If you want me to do the predictions, I'll do it. I've got some time on my hands. All right. You're welcome, Gasemi. You're always welcome, bro. Adebayo and Morris have the height advantage over Newcastle. I agree with that, but I don't think there's a height issue now with Botman back, Dan Burn. The only issue is, I guess, Trippier. Everyone have a go. True. Viz, the 6 are the ones who are loyal. That's why I do what I love, Nihal. I know that there's gonna be people waiting for this stream. There's gonna be you know, at least people who've been with the channel for such a long time. That's why I do this, and I love doing it as well. It takes me a lot of time to go through all the press conferences, news and stuff. I still do it. I love doing it. I do it because I love it right now, you know. Otherwise, if I was doing it for the financial aspect, I would have let it go a long time ago, because it is absolutely not viable in this way. But I love it. It's 6 a.m. here and I'm still awake for this great work quiz. Thanks, my friend. I love that as well. And thanks for being here on the stream. Let's go for it, guys. I want everybody to vote. And let's do it. So the first one, guys, Everton versus Spurs. I think this game is going to be very interesting from the prospect of Richarlison. It feels a game in which there's going to be goals from both sides. If you look at Everton, they haven't been playing well. I mean, they picked up this, I guess they picked up a bit of, encouragement when 10 points were deducted. But beyond that, they just went flat again. They won a few really good games, but beyond that, they went flat. So you see, this is the game against Spurs. They played well. Yeah, they won against Burnley. So after game week 17, they've gone a bit flat. Before that, they won against Chelsea. They won against obviously Burnley. They were expected to beat, but it was really, they beat Newcastle. You see, this was the time when the 10 points were deducted and they pushed Everton players to a new height. But now they're back to normal. I can see goals in this game for Spurs as well for Everton. I don't see Spurs keeping a clean sheet. I'm going with the 3-1 win for Spurs. Nehal says, I did not realize Richarlison has the Gandhi curse. You did not? It's alright, Nehal. The Gandhi curse doesn't always work. And remember, when you were captaining him, you did not know that it was a curse. So curse does not apply on those people. Curse does not apply on those people who did not know it was the first game. So today, Richarlison gonna get that hat-trick. Elusive hat-trick. Spurs 3-2 says Light Rays. Nehal says 4-1. CAV says 2-1 Spurs late. 2-0 says Zara. George says 2-2 possible. Richarlison red card, bro. Nails captain him. Red card. I mean, Richarlison definitely is an emotional player, I give you that. But I guess Ange Postecoglou is going to knock some sense into him before the game. So let's see. Doucouré missing is a problem for Everton. Yeah, I agree with that. I said that last week as well. So I'm going with the 3-1 win for Spurs. And let's go for the second one. Brighton versus Palace. Now, Palace are... George, I totally agree with you. Richarlison is an emotional player, but that works both ways. If he's motivated, he will do really well, and if he is annoyed, if he gets annoyed, then he will definitely go for that crazy tackle. Everton crowd love Richarlison. I hope it goes well though. I own Richarlison even if I haven't captained him, and Neil has captained him, so I hope it goes well. Brighton versus Palace. See, Palace are not in a good form. Last week, yes, they won the game. Yes, Eze scored 2 goals and whatnot, but basically they're not in good form. Same as with Brighton. They're hot and cold. In FA Cup, they scored 5 goals, but in the league, they got beat by Luton 4-0. So they have to bounce back, Brighton. It's going to be an interesting game to watch. I'm going for a 2-2 draw between Brighton and Palace. I think if one team has to win this, it will be Brighton, but I'm going for a 2-2 draw. 2-1 Palace struggle when Eze Olise are not both fit. Agree with that. Brighton 2-1 says Zara. Avinish says 4-0 Brighton's home game, bounce back for the Seagulls. I hope Estupinan gets a couple of assists. George says 1-1. So George is going with a draw just like me. Everybody else is going for a Brighton win. Lighter says 2-1. How did Brighton lose 4-0 to Luton? Brighton were not at the races that day, Lightrace. Actually, I think they've not been at the races for the past few games. Just that win against Spurs put a bit of lid over the past performances. If you see the New Year's performance against Spurs, this was the one that actually, not this one, which was this one. This is the performance which actually put a lid over their past bad performances, but they're back. See, against West Ham 0-0, not a bad result. Against Wolves 0-0, at home against Amex, 4-0 to Luton. Let's see what they do in this game. Would be interesting. Yeah, that's exactly. And people were saying Roberto De Zerbi is like the next Pep Guardiola. So let's see what happens. Burnley versus Fulham. I see this game as a bore snooze fest, but I think Fulham are going to win this game. Fulham are too good. I mean, Marco Silva's set up his team in such a good way. Burnley try to play football, but they don't have the players. They don't have the legs. They don't have the players for the Premier League. Yes, this type of football can work in the in the lower leagues, but in this league you need to have the players to play a certain kind of football. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Fulham. Fulham signed the striker from Chelsea. No, I don't remember the name. They signed this new striker, Fulham, because Jimenez is again hot and cold. Broja, they signed Broja, Armando Broja, Fulham. So keep an eye on him, because there's a clause in his contract that if he doesn't play 10 games for Fulham, at least 10 games, then they'll have to pay Chelsea 4 million. And if Broja can play 10 games, then Fulham essentially have to pay Chelsea nothing. So they will at least try to play him in 10 games. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. I expect Fulham to win this one 2-1. Let's see what you say. Lightre says 1-0. CAV says 1-1. Avanish says 2-0. If De Zerbi comes to Liverpool, I revoke my fanship. Nah, that's not gonna happen. We're fans for life. 1-0 Fulham, says Zara. 2-1 says Nehal. Broja. Oh, yeah, I got that. George says 1-0. Yeah, agree. I'm going with the 2-1, but 1-0 could very well be the result. Newcastle Luton, I expect Newcastle to win this one 3-0. Yes, Luton scored 4 goals against Newcastle, but I think Newcastle against Brighton, but I think Newcastle are now coming into their own element. They were even beating Manchester City, before De Bruyne came on, and the Oscar Bob out of nowhere popped out and popped out with a great goal. But technically I was thinking 3-1 for Luton, but now I just have the feeling that Newcastle are going to beat Luton and not allow them to score a single goal. Also depends on how Luton sets up. Let's see what you say. Nihal says 3-1. Again, the same scoreline which I was predicting, but now I've gone to a 3-0. CAV says 2-0. 2-0 as well for George. Lightre says 3-2. That would be a great game to watch if that happens. 3-1. I think 3-1 has to be the most predicted, or the most kind of common result, I guess. Oh, actually it is 2-0. So CAV, George and Zara says 2-0 for Newcastle. That would be nice actually to have, because I've got Dubravka as my keeper. I've got Gordon playing, so clean sheet points bonus would be nice. Luton managed to score most times, yeah, but when they scored, they concede as well a lot of goals. So they generally end up losing 3-1, 4-1. That is the type of scoreline which happens, and with that I would not be averse to that. So Sheffield versus Aston Villa, guys. I think Sheffield United are going down, guys. And yes, they brought in Wilder, but it was too little, too late. They didn't even sign too many players, to kind of help them to stay up. So I think they're expecting to go down, and they spent the big money on Ryan Brewster from Liverpool, and it never took off. I guess Ollie Watkins will score in this game. These are the type of games which Ollie Watkins does score in. I'd expect Aston Villa to win this game 2-1. I think Sheffield United again, late goals for Ollie McBurney. I mean, Ollie McBurney, whenever he comes on, he looks threatening, but somehow, he's some in and out of the team. It's a difficult one to call, but I'd say 2-1 to Villa. Nehal says Luton managed to score most times, exactly. Yeah, always just score 1 goal and concede 4. So Nehal says 1-1 draw between the two, Aston Villa and Sheffield. Avanish says 5-0 to Villa. That's not going to happen, bro. Villa are not the same Villa that they used to, that beat City and Arsenal. Horrible 0-1 win. I'd take it. I agree. At least we didn't captain Ollie Watkins, right? Pool scammed Sheffield. I guess so. I mean, when they sold Dominic Solanke to Bournemouth, I felt that they were charging too much for him, 19 million. But now it feels like a bargain. Brewster actually feels the opposite. Josh says Villa are inconsistent, so this could be a surprise. Maybe Villa edge it 1-2. Yeah, I agree. It could be a surprise, but not against Sheffield. Villa have got too much quality in the midfield to just get beat by... even if they play below par, they're still going to beat Sheffield. 2-0 Villa, huge parking of the bus by Sheffield United. Yeah, that's the only way they can win this, on the counter attack with parking the bus, but let's see. Hate playing these low block 11 men back teams. Just take the win and leave. You know what happens, CAV? The thing is, when these teams play low block, either they'll stop you for the 70-80 minutes and frustrate you. If these teams have prepared all week to play the low block and they concede early, maybe from a header, maybe from a corner, you never know, and then the floodgates might open. So this can go both ways, you know. When you plan for something and it doesn't materialize, then it all crumbles. It's like a pack of cards, right? It solidifies if the time goes by, but if a gust of wind comes, it's just gonna fall. So that early goal can be the dose of what Villa really need. Brewster was the golden boot in the under-17 World Cup in Kolkata in the team with Foden. I agree. I watched him play, but I don't think he's serious about football, Nihal. I think that's the issue. You know, you have to work on your body day in, day out. Brenton Diaz gonna score. Somebody was asking me whether they should get Brenton Diaz, and I haven't even considered him for my team. I don't even look at the Sheffield players, let alone get them into my team. Maybe Archer was in my team at one point in the season, but otherwise I don't even consider their players. Anyways, guys, let's move on to Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest, in which my captain is gonna play, and I'm gonna get scared. Bournemouth versus Nottingham. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth or even a 2-2 could be possible if it depends on how they set up Nottingham Forest, but it's going to be a goal scoring game. It's not going to be a 0-0 kind of a game. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Bournemouth or a 2-2 draw kind of game. Diaz is actually 5 something mid. Neil, we don't have a spot in midfield for Sheffield United players. That's the truth. When you can get a Cole Palmer for 5.5 or 5.6, you know, he was 4.5. Cole Palmer. Who would think about Diaz? Solanke brace, of course, says TAV. Yep, we're the ones who captained them. 4-1. A typical Turner mistake is guaranteed. You're expecting Nottingham to win. Nottingham to lose 4-1, right? That would be awesome. Solanke brace would be nice. Solanke goal and assist, I would love that. 2-1 Bournemouth. Everybody thinks Bournemouth is going to win, so I guess I'll stick with the 2-1 prediction, not with the 2-2. But I'll tell you guys, I'm in Arsenal and Nottingham. It was such an easy game for Arsenal. Arsenal were just absolutely, going through the motions, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Avanai scored the goal, and it became very, very nervy at the end for Arsenal, you know. But I think it was Trossard who actually just ran through the midfield and just cut through the midfield and just kept hold of the ball. If it was Arsenal from 2 seasons back, we would have conceded another one. Definitely would have. Moving on, guys. Chelsea versus Wolves. I expect Chelsea to win, but I don't expect Chelsea to keep a clean sheet. I think Wolves have got enough about them to score, especially with Pedro Neto coming back. Kuna back from an injury as well. And playing well again. So I'm expecting a 3-1 win for Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to win this. I think they've got enough to handle Wolves, but not to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going with a 3-1 for Chelsea. I'm sorry, Viz, but I think Solanke blanks this week. He's performing above his points ceiling. Avnish, the thing is, XG, especially XGI, is a bit overrated. If you see the games, even if you saw the game against Spurs, Solanke could have had 3 goals, and it sometimes it's based off the team which they play against. Like, if statistics was the only thing to measure or to kind of gauge the players, then I guess the AI teams would win FPL hands down. But when you watch the games, you feel differently. I just want to say this. For example, Saka, if you see, he's got such high XG in the past few game weeks, but how many goals does he have? Just 1 goal, 1 assist or something like that, or 2 goals maybe, but sometimes these things don't play out the way we expect them to. At the start of the season, Saka was outperforming his XG. Now he's underperforming. These things even out over the season. So let's go with the predictions. Lighter says 2-2. Nihal says 2-2 as well. George has gone with the same prediction as me, 3-1. CAV says 1-1. So 3 of us are expecting a draw, which is very interesting, guys. I hope he scores, says Avanish. Totally, my friend. Let's see. Let's hope for the best. All we can do is roll the dice and hope for the best. I don't worry about decisions I cannot do anything about. And when things are out of my hand, then I stop worrying, my friend. Now the only time I start worrying is when I have the next decision to make before Game Week 24 deadline. Until then, I'm just going to research, I'm going to watch the games, and I'm going to have fun. In the end, I'm a football fan. I love watching football. And that is why we do what we do, right? FPL is just a byproduct of the football that we see. So, we just need to enjoy, guys. When the decision is not in our hands, let's not worry about it. So I'm going with my prediction, guys. I'm sticking with the 3-1, but I see that three of you have gone with the draw. Manchester United versus West Ham. I can't call this game because just like Manchester United, West Ham have been hot and cold these past few weeks. Against Bournemouth they drew 1-1. And I don't know. For some reason West Ham tend to play better against the bigger teams, and they slack off against the lower teams. I don't know why West Ham are like this, but just Rashford to be back on everyone's FPL radar. Palmer gonna score one. I agree with Nehal. I think Palmer's gonna score one. Rashford did well against Wolves as well. The goals he scored really good. From a Rashmish assist. 2-2 says George. United and West Ham. I think that could be possible. 2-2 could be a fair result, especially with Manchester United being weak on set pieces, and West Ham have got these tall big players in like Souček and they've got multiple dimensions from where they can score the goals. Mainu goal or assist, says Neil. Yeah, I know you brought him in. I hope he does well for you. It would be a great differential to have if he scores. 2-1 United, says Nehal. 2-2 draw, says Light Rays. Wolves have enough to score. I agree. I think they will score against Chelsea. Their defense is not sorted, especially Chilwell. Chilwell was all over the place against Liverpool. Man, if Chilwell was not playing, I don't think Liverpool would have scored 4, I tell you that. He was the one at fault for the goal. 1-1 says Zara. That would be interesting if United scored just 1 at Old Trafford. I think they're beginning to turn the corner a little bit. The fixtures are becoming better as well. Let's see how where it goes. Now the next one, you already know I'm not gonna predict because it's my team of emotions attached. Thought the ref was really poor. I agree with that. I thought that was a penalty on Gallagher. Van Dijk clearly clipped him. I've seen much lesser penalties given. I don't know how they did not give that one. And beyond that as well, they had a couple of close calls which went Liverpool's way. I think it's maybe, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to call foul play or anything here, but that was a penalty. If I've seen a penalty, that was a penalty. 2 pence for me. Jota foul on Chilwell for Bradley goal too. Yeah, absolutely. Jota foul Chilwell too. When Bradley scored the goal, the Chelsea players were calling for that foul and they checked it and they did not give it as well. I don't know what was going on there. It was weird to watch that game. The clear penalties, guys. I'm not a Chelsea fan or a Liverpool hater or Liverpool, whatever, but it's just, I watch the game day in, day out, and I've seen penalties given for nothing, guys. Absolutely nothing. And Nehal says, trust me, Chelsea should have gotten 2 pens. And I'm saying this as a Liverpool fan. I agree with that. Well, let's go back to the predictions, guys. We've already got 2-1 Liverpool, Lighter says, and he knows it's difficult because he's an Arsenal fan as well. This game could bring Arsenal back into the title contention and this is a 6-pointer, guys. I know that Arsenal, people have written Arsenal off after the losses to West Ham and Fulham. I know, and they should be, because they lost against no title contenders, lose 2 games in a row to West Ham and Fulham. So rightly so. I think Arsenal can, if Arsenal can get a win in this game, which is very unlikely because Liverpool are flying and Arsenal are not. But I hope for the best, guys. I'm not going to predict this one. I'll leave the predictions to you. I'll read your predictions though. Lighter says 2-1 win to Liverpool. Nehal says 1-1. CAV says it was strange. Klopp first came after the announcement. Fishy. I prefer not to make any calls, CAV, but I think they should have gotten 2 penalties. George says, no prediction from me. Also can hardly call Liverpool favoured by the refs considering what happened against Spurs. Liverpool should be unbeaten. I agree with that as well. The game against Spurs, it was horrendous. And, and Liverpool still was about to win that one until Matip scored the own goal right at the end. I was not being an Arsenal fan, still I was heartbroken for the players who've done so well until that time. But, what can we do? I'm not calling foul from the refs, my friend. I'm just saying that ref was really bad on that day. CAV is also saying Liverpool gonna win 2-1. Zara says Arsenal gonna win 2-1. Avni says Arsenal are gonna win. I hope you're right, bro. I would absolutely love that scoreline. Well, the last game, Brentford, that's on Monday. Brentford versus Manchester City. Viz, is there a position on the pitch Arsenal could improve on? Great team on paper. Lighters, I think they need a... there are two problems in that team. The first one being Partey is always injured, and I think they need a second midfielder. Kai Havertz is not the answer to play in that position. He's not Granit Xhaka. He's not even close to that. So he can't cover at left back. What happens is when Zinchenko now moves into the midfield, earlier Granit Xhaka would go to left back and cover for him. Now what happens is they rotate the defense. So basically Gabriel goes to left back and Ben White and Saliba come to centre back. So basically they're having to rotate the defense to cover for when Zinchenko moves midfield, and that is not ideal. You ideally want to move your midfielder to make space for your left back or right back to come inside or to cut inside and be that extra man. They need somebody like Thomas Partey. That is why I think they wanted to go for Moises Caicedo, and they need a striker. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is a striker which can. They don't have enough goal scorers at this moment in time. Jesus is a fantastic player, but he is not a 25 goals striker in a season, and Arsenal need that. Saka's got like 6-7 goals. Martinelli's got 4. Odegaard has got 6-7. They're chipping in, all of them. Trossard has got some, Havertz has got some, but they need one player who can score more than 15-20 goals. Until then it's going to be difficult, my friend. And also I think they need to address the right back situation. If Tomiyasu was fit, I don't think White is going to play there because White has not been good this season. White is not overlapping. He's not giving Saka. Saka's got everything to do by himself. They need players to overlap him. They need players to underlap him. So when Riyad Mahrez was playing in Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne would run past him. Kyle Walker would run past him. They'll give him the space to play. Saka has to create his own space with his physicality, with his dribbling. It's too tough. It's difficult. That's why in the bigger games, they still can hold the fort, but in smaller games, sometimes they get exposed because they went to Anfield, they drew 2-2 with Liverpool, but they lost to West Ham and Fulham away from home. But still, you need to win these kinds of games. You need that brute force. Anyways, not talking more about Arsenal, guys. I just hope they win. Let's do the last prediction and be done with the stream for today. So I'm hoping City win this. I'm not hoping. I hope City lose, but I think City going to win this one. I think it's going to be a 3-1 kind of win against Brentford. I personally feel that Brentford have enough in them, especially with Ivan Toney back, to score a goal. They're not the same Brentford that beat City at the Etihad. They're not even half close to the same form. But I think City is going to score a couple of goals. Haaland hopefully amongst the goals, and KDB I hope can stay quiet. I hope Foden can stay quiet. They're on my bench. Alvarez I sold. I'm a little bit scared of not owning City assets in this game, but I'm planning for the future, guys, and sometimes you have to sacrifice the present for the better future, as I always say. Think for today, plan for tomorrow, and party tonight. 3-1 Man City, 3-1 City, 4-1 City, 2-2 out of more hope than anything. Of course, as a Liverpool fan, definitely. Like it says, well said, Wiz, agree 100%. Cheers, mate. Last game of the week as well, yeah. And after that, keep your eyes peeled for the Thursday game between Aston Villa and Chelsea in the replay of FA Cup. Whoever wins will not play in 29. Whoever loses will play in 29. And that has a lot of repercussions, because if Chelsea lose the game, then Arsenal have a game in 29, which gives you the option not to use your free hit. So in that sense, we need to keep our eyes on that game. 3-1 City as well. Everybody's like 3-1. Or Avnish is 4-1 as well. So I guess Brentford score 1. Yeah, Wednesday. I mean, it's for us. It's Thursday night, Thursday morning, 1 a.m. But yeah, it's a Wednesday game. I agree. I'm sorry. Just got confused with the time scale. Right, guys. So that was all about the predictions. Was a long stream today, but I hope you had fun. It was a bit of a hiccup in the middle there when we lost our connections, but all is well that ends well, I guess. So take care, guys. Thank you so much for being on the stream, and I'll see you again for next week's deadline. Till then, let's do a lot of planning, and a lot of things will become clear for the game week 29, so that we can easily plan our transfers. The team news is out, says Lightrace. Alright, I guess I'll read the team news before going. Yeah. You guys definitely... team news, I can't... Yeah, so pick Vicario, Pedro Porro, Romero. Actually, you know what? I'll just take you to Twitter. Since I've already got it open here, I'll take you to Twitter and I'll show you the team news so I can just read it before going, guys. There you go. Alright. That's my phone hotspot loading. Where is the team news? I think I do follow them on... I can't. What is this guy saying? There will be no chance of a leak pre-deadline. However, Tony has mentioned with Haaland, if he's fit, he'll start. No two ways. My opinion is he will start. His minutes will be managed. Yes. That just tells us nothing. But I feel Main Road is a good guy. He always tells us, gives us information. Right. So here's the team, guys. Vicario, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Madison. Oh, Brennan starts. Kulusevski has been benched. Interesting. I was telling the same thing to somebody who asked me. Actually, was asking about Brenton Diaz, and I actually started explaining about Brennan Johnson and Kulusevski. But that was exactly my point. I said that now that right wing position is between Brennan and Kulusevski, so one of them is only going to start. But Madison might become interesting in the coming few weeks. That's the same news we expected. No surprises here. Richarlison starting, so Nahal's captain is starting. Let's see what Everton, the Everton team news is. So, Pickford, Mikalenko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Godfrey's back, huh? Young, Ashley Young, right back. Ganagay, Garner, McNeil, Harrison. No surprises here, really, guys. I guess Doucouré being absent is a big miss for them, but he's not going to be available anytime soon. So, yeah. So, no surprises, I guess, guys. But that's all about team news. So, I hope you have a great game week. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope I will see you next week for for next week's deadline stream. Till then, take care, guys. Have a great game week, and may the Arrows be green. FPL is signing out. Bye-bye.